listening to Be Inspired, the one-stop shop for inspiration. Stay tuned for your inspiring show. Now, here's your host, Erica.
All right, Be Inspired listeners, as usual, I am so excited about who we have in our Be Inspired Cafe today, professional dancer, choreographer, Lauren Putty White. So welcome, Lauren, into the Be Inspired Cafe. How are you doing?
Thank you so much. I'm really kind of honored and flattered to be here. I'm doing well.
Great. So tell us a bit about what you do.
What do I do? I'm sort of a crazy artist type person. I am a dancer. I've basically been performing since I was 3 years old, and kind of stuck with me. So I've been dancing for, I guess, over 20 years, and I also teach, and I like to create, dance, and choreograph as well. So I do all those things.
That's cool. So I have a question, because I think I've been able, as I shared with you a little earlier, to see a video of her dancing. So you guys have to search her out on YouTube or something, because she's definitely talented. So I wonder, because you've been dancing for a while, what do you say to that person that they have a gift, maybe they've been doing it since they were 3 or 4, and they're hesitant about doing it full time and really just going out there and pursuing it? How has that been able to happen for you, and what do you say to that person to encourage them?
Oh, I definitely would tell anybody who is a little bit hesitant or kind of scared to take the risk. I'd just say do it. Definitely. I've been, fortunate and blessed enough to have very supportive parents, very supportive family to kind of just encourage me along the way and tell me to keep doing it, and to actually venture out of a small place like Baltimore and, try to go to a bigger city and really pursue it has just been the greatest decision I've ever made. And so sometimes you kind of have to just take that leap on the other side, and, because you never know what is on the other side, and it might end up being the best blessing that you discover. So I would just tell anybody who also has a passion or something that they're afraid of pursuing, just to do it. And, even if you fail, at least you can say that you tried. It's better to do that than to never know how far you could go, doing something that you love. So that's what I would say.
I love it. I always say nothing to it but to do it. So just go out and try.
Exactly.
So who's inspired you? Who have you looked up to as you've pursued dancing?
That's a hard one, because I feel like so many people inspire me. I guess in terms of the dance world, dancers and choreographers that I look up to, just to name a few. Trust me, there's so many, but to name a few, I would say Camille Brown, who is currently based in New York, and she's doing a lot of amazing things that I hope to aspire to do someday. Linda Denise Fisher-Harrell, she is a principal dancer at Avenelli, and the first moment I saw her on stage, that was when I knew that I wanted to dance like her, or at least be at the same caliber. She's amazing. Who else? Of course, my mom is like my rock, and so she always inspires me. And my husband, who's also just not only a creative genius, but such a support and everything. And I just constantly am in awe of everything that he does in his walk. And, there's just so many. I also have a really dear friend of mine, Christina, who is actually in the theater field. She's also in the arts, and she inspires me as well. There's just so many people inside the arts and outside the arts who just constantly kind of reaffirm, just to keep pressing forward and to keep going for things that that you believe in and that you're passionate about. So as if that wasn't enough, right? Long list.
No, that was good. So spiritually, how has that been for you, being in the dance world and then taking a stand just from your spiritual beliefs? How has that been for you?
Oh, wow. That's a really deep question. It's a good question. I would say that to me, and I guess you can just attribute it to the fact that, I am a believer and, I would consider myself to be Christian. Dance is spiritual for me, so every time that I do it, I kind of try to do it in a mode of, like, thankfulness and, just being able to share my gift and just feeling blessed that I can share it and that I can continue to just use what it is that God gave me. So every time that I do it, it's some sort of, like, reverence, you know what I mean? So I do kind of feel like every time that I dance or that I'm teaching it and I'm sharing it with, like, younger people who aspire to do it, and, it's just always some sort of spiritual fulfillment in that. And then just especially, I guess, the times when I'm creating and I'm choreographing, I definitely feel like it's spirit-led. Like, I do not take any credit for any type of movement. People be like, how'd you come up with that? I'd be like, I have no idea. It's God. Like, I don't know how I came with this shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I have another question then. I feel like I can keep on talking to you. I have a bunch of questions.
That's okay.
But are you familiar with Lori Ann Gibson?
I am familiar with her, yes.
Oh, because from a spiritual perspective, I think it's cool. I don't know if you've seen her show, but one thing that really stood out to me that almost kind of caught me off guard was that she started ending, like she would end her show and in prayer, and she was just, out there talking about Jesus, and I was just blown because I didn't know. But so have you seen that? Have you seen her show or?
I've only seen her show maybe once or twice, and, when you're kind of like in the industry and then you see other people on reality TV shows, you form your own opinions about it, and, I try not to judge her. I mean, like, it's hard when you're talking about someone who is in that realm of it, who is on camera, who is in, the face of the media, because it's like you don't know if they're portraying who they really are, who they want people to believe that they are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would like to hope that she really is, that's what she is about and that's what she does. But I don't remember seeing that on the the episodes I saw, she didn't do it.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's great, though, either way. Just,
yeah. Yeah, it was interesting to me. So that brings me to my next question, because a lot of times, like, I have a friend, she does fashion. She's all about, she does makeup and designing, and I have another friend that does training. And so you find yourself in an arena that's not necessarily seen as a ministry. So how has that been for you to really use your dance? Like, do you, I guess I would say, like, do you do it outside of just the church and outside of ministry? And how has that been for you to use that still in a way that it still reflects who you are and what you believe?
I think it's just about when I try to, whether I'm, like, performing, somebody else's choreography, like if I'm in somebody else's company, or I'm doing a work that is my own that I, created myself, I just really try to maintain just being genuinely honest about who I am and, like, where I am at that period, in that moment when I'm doing it. So I kind of just like to, the emotion, if nothing else, the emotion to be real and sincere and for it to be relatable. And in that way, I feel like that's ministering to people. So not only are they, like, watching and saying, oh, wow, I wish my body could do that, or, it's not this, like, mystical, like, fantasy, like, oh, wow, but it's so that you're feeling something from it and that something is touching you inside or provoking a certain thought or emotion that kind of, even if it leaves something that's along the lines of being more so inquisitive, like, I wonder where this feeling is coming from or why I'm feeling like this watching this, watching her move or watching her dance. It's just kind of, I feel like, ministering in that way, you try to ignite those things to whoever your audience is. It's not just about, oh, I'm going to get on stage and show off, you know what I mean? Because when it becomes about that, it's no longer, you know what I mean? So, so, yeah, I just feel like it's important. I mean, of course, when you're dancing in church, that is the intent. It's obvious because it's when it's outside of church, that's the most important way of drawing people, to whatever that is. And so,
yes.
So yeah, I guess I just really try to maintain that honesty and whenever I'm dancing. And even if it's not necessarily like the best, night, that I'm dancing, like, oh, that was kind of a bad night, technically or something like. But if somebody comes up to me and says that they were, touched and they were like crying from my performance, then hey, I did my job regardless of how I feel about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So cool. So I have my last question for you. For those that are listening, they want to support you, maybe they want to see you, what is the best way that we can stay connected with you and support all that you're doing?
The best way is to either, find Facebook. I love friends, so you can either just find me on Facebook under Lauren Putty White. There is also a page that my best friend started, Lauren Putty White fan club page on Facebook as well. You can like that. Or you can just go to my website, which I actually have. It's laurenputtydance.com. And I try to keep up with everything, all the latest updates and news of where I'll be performing or where I'll be presenting work and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's about it.
Yay. Well, thank you, Lauren. Everyone, you heard it. You got to find her on Facebook. I'll have her website on the Be Inspired site, so as you're listening to this, either look up or look down from the audio clip, and you'll see Lauren's website. So thank you again, Lauren, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully at a Be Inspired event, have you dancing at our latest day out.